Someone, we need help! There's an armiger injured on the road outside Saint-Denis. So much blood! They need help! I'm not exactly sure. The buoyant armiger was accompanying Canon Valasar on a mission for Lord Vivek, but something terrible must have happened. Canon Valasar sent me to find help. She's on the road just outside of Saint-Denis. Will you help them? Outlander, a word. By order of the Deputy Governor of Saint-Denis, which happens to be me, the lighthouse is closed until further notice. On the other hand, I seek an outlander who's willing to do a little work. I need someone without ties to the area to look into a matter for me. It seems the lighthouse was broken into. The flame was extinguished. As a result, a ship crashed along the shore. There were fewer bodies than expected, both living and dead. I suspect slavers were involved, which means they had help here in town. I find that unacceptable. Discover who doused the lamp fire. They'll lead us to the slavers. Question Delms, who was on duty that night. He's in the lighthouse. I need to check in with the overseer. His workers are searching the wreckage, and I want to know what they've uncovered. By the time we were alerted and had organized a response, precious moments had been lost. We rescued a few, but mostly we found those who had drowned or were crushed on the rocks. Even so, it was nowhere near the numbers a ship like that carries. It was just a typical sailing ship from the mainland. I suppose it carried the usual complement of cargo and travelers eager to reach our verdant shores. I don't believe that such a vessel would make the trip without filling its holds. Damn slavers. Ever since our agreement with the Pact went into effect, slavery has been outlawed throughout most of Morrowind. But all we did was drive the slavers into the shadows. This whole stinking event has their bloody fingerprints all over it. Here, and in all of the territories controlled by the great houses that support the Ebonheart Pact. If you stray into Telvanni or Dres territory, though, the practice remains strong and vibrant. Hence my current troubles. We are just a small outpost along the Bitter Coast, but I like to think of us as the gateway to Vardenfell. From here, Vivek City and the other inland locations are easily accessible. Governor O'Melian is in charge, although I contribute as necessary.
Halt! No one's allowed up here. She asked you to... an outlander? Isn't it enough she stuck me up here to guard the flame indefinitely, but now she's looking for help outside the house guard? What else can I expect after what happened the other night? Findon sent a barrel of his finest ale for Watch Captain Bethes's birthday. Powerful stuff. One cup and we could barely keep our eyes open. The entire regiment was knocked on its collective arse. When I came to my senses, I saw that the fire had gone out. Look, once I heard the crash along the shore, it was all I could do to get moving and raise the alarm. Cherish's water loves to loiter near the lighthouse. Maybe she noticed something. If you're intent on doing your job, you should talk to her.
Do you mind? Your dirty foot coverings are contaminating my pond. So direct you are. It makes my tongue wither and the answers dry up in my mouth. Go and bother someone else with your parching questions. Now you insult me? I'll have you know I can take care of myself. Since you mentioned it, I have noticed that my favorite pond has become somewhat stagnant. I bet if we had some of Vinden's special blend, my throat would moisten right back up. Vinden collects it from a secret location, where the sea meets the swamp in perfect harmony. Contains just enough salt to nourish my scales without drying them. You can buy it from him, or fill a bucket yourself. Then we can talk.
I only recently arrived and I'm still getting used to this strange land. Did you know they mine insect eggs for food here? Or what about those murderers that get to kill people just so long as they have an official piece of paper? It's crazy.
A toast to drinking!
That's quite enough of that.
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivec, and left a colleague alone at the tomb. Lord Vivec sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andrano ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but we failed to complete the mission Lord Vivec bestowed upon us. Canon Levoul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivec's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
Tanaza, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle.
Lord Vivec, protect me! The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such an event... She said evil creeps through the land. I wonder if it has anything to do with what we saw at the tomb. We sought guidance in a matter that concerns Lord Vivec. I received specific questions to ask while Levoul concentrated on summoning his ancestor. The Daedra ruined those plans when they fell upon Urnsey, and we were forced to flee. Vile creatures from oblivion! You hear about an odd ghost or a nest of vampires, but never Daedra! Please, if they're still there, they'll rip Canon Levoul apart. He's definitely not a warrior. Just look at what they did to the Buoyant Armiger. The Buoyant Armigers comprise one of the military orders of the Tribunal Temple. They seek to emulate Lord Vivec's deeds through actions and words. Poor Urnsey. Those monsters went straight for her. Her blood flowed like lava from Red Mountain. Where are you from? Children learn of Red Mountain before they even taste Flynn. The mountain sits at the center of Vardenfell, periodically rumbling like a sleeping Nyx shaking its leg. Lately, however, Azura is the cruel but wise Daedric Prince of Dawn and Dusk. She's one of the good Daedra, for what that's worth. But for her to speak through an innocent means something terrible is about to happen. Why else would she dare Lord Vivec's wrath? What do they teach you where you come from? Lord Vivec's a living god! Azura is merely the anticipation of Sothasil. Vivec stands as the present and the future, while Azura clearly represents Vardenfell's past. So no, they don't get along. You don't know Lord Vivec, one of the living gods of the Dunmer Tribunal. You must be new to our land, Outlander. But there's no time. Canon Levoul remain behind. He needs help if he's going to get inside the tomb and ask Vivec's questions. Yes, one of the god monarchs of Morrowind. He's the warrior poet who lives in a grand palace in Vivec City. Lord Vivec sent us on this holy mission to request information from Canon Levoul's ancestor. It breaks my heart that I have failed him.
That feels much better. Now that's the proper way to ask the question. As a matter of fact, I did notice someone near the lighthouse that night. You keep asking the wrong question. I did not see anyone that night. I felt them. They made ripples in the water. I felt them stuck by the tree that overlooks my pond. Then they moved off towards the lighthouse. Look to the tree, moist one. I prefer my waters to remain still, calm. Prying causes ripples, and ripples lead to more dry questions.
Not now, citizen. I'm up to my armpits in problems today. Really, Outlander, it's commendable that you're trying to learn our ways, but the words of the Tribunal just sound silly when you say them like that. I suggest you stick to sightseeing and leave the religion to us.
An outlander. I can never seem to get enough of your kind here. You're welcome in Vardenfell, of course. Just obey the laws and refrain from causing trouble, and you'll get along just fine. What? What did you say? I suggest you leave now before I set the guards upon you.
Despite all the excitement around the recent shipwreck, I'm in here, guarding the governor's office. I suppose someone might want to steal a quill or a stack of parchment, but still, my talents are clearly being wasted. Word of advice, don't mention anything about the tribunal to the governor. He's not happy with some recent rules and regulations that have come down from on high.
Do you like firm, juicy tomatoes? I've been told that mine are the best in the city. Go ahead and see for yourself. That's a good one! That tribunal nonsense is almost as funny as some of the things I heard in Hrothgar. Say, if you want to get together later, I know a couple of body stories that I'd love to share.
Well? House Redoran controls the west, and House Telvanni holds sway over the east. Me, I'm the master of this cooking pot. Oh, what a sorry life this is. That's something to do with the tribunal, isn't it? I'm sorry, but I really try not to pay too much attention to the Dark Elves and their strange religion.
Get yourself a drink, and one for me.
Purchase necessities here.
I hear that the House Guard broke up a band of slavers operating on one of the nearby islands. I'm glad for that, but the slavers will probably be back in business before you know it. Oh, that's from the Dark Elf scriptures, isn't it? Enigmatic and beautiful. I've been trying to catch up on my reading, but I've been so busy.
Welcome to our shop. Feel free to look around. Keep it down. We don't want to attract undue attention. But what happened? I thought I was supposed to go to the drop. You didn't come all this way just to give me my reward, did you? Already? Let me see. Oh, it's beautiful. I love working for the Tribunal. It's so much better than trying to earn a living as a thief in Vivec City. But where's your helmet? I've never seen an Ordinator out of uniform before. Oh, right. We're not supposed to talk about Ordinators in the Tribunal in such a public place. But it feels good to be doing holy work for a change. And such a simple task, snuffing out the lighthouse flame. I mean, Umsivi is the ending of words. Oh, that was easy. I put a sleeping draught in the ale they ordered for Watch Captain Bethes's birthday. The guards were unconscious within the hour. I hope I can be of service again. For the Tribunal. Welcome to our shop. Feel free to look.
Unfortunately, the wreck of the vessel provided no additional clues. Were you able to discover anything during your investigation? The young woman who works with the grocer. I doubt the Tribunal would ask her to do something so reckless. Do you have any proof other than her word? This is disturbing. This parchment feels just like the sheets that Governor O'Melian special orders from High Rock. I'm going to need you to acquire another sample from the Governor's office. It's the only way to be certain. Not if I don't want him to know I suspect that he's working with the slavers, or the Tribunal, though I still consider that to be some sort of fabrication. No, if I alert him too soon, he'll just cover his tracks. Not the office. He keeps it in his private quarters, accessed through the guardhouse. But I'd never suggest that you sneak into his quarters and steal a blank sheet of his special parchment. That would be against the law. Do you understand me?
Come, drink up. Forget your troubles.
Ah, our special customer. Is there something I can do for you?
What is it?
Back again? So tell me, you didn't do anything unlawful now, did you? That's odd. We haven't done a search of Firemoth Island since Governor O'Melian declared that the House Guard was better used patrolling farther up the coast. And these parchment sheets definitely match. This is very disturbing. What I think doesn't matter. We need evidence. But we also need to launch a rescue. Slavery is illegal in Pact territory. It's time to visit Firemoth Island. Hopefully, somewhere along the way we'll find more proof of Governor O'Melian's ties to all of this. Attack before the soldiers have been assembled? That's not a prudent course of action. We need to muster our forces, make plans and contingencies, unlock the armory. What was that? That's a distress signal, and it came from Firemoth Island. No time to prepare. We have to rescue the slavers' prisoners. Soldiers, to the ships! We sail for Firemouth Island!
My eternal thanks.
Free at last. My thanks. You arrived in the nick of time.
I thought I was done for.
Someone attacked the governor. This guard will live. Did you find anything important on Firemoth Island? The governor called upon the Morag Tong to hide his involvement, but it appears they simply brought it to light. As this note and the other evidence you uncovered clearly states, he was working with the slavers. On behalf of Sedanine, thank you.
Deputy Governor.
Sergeant, where's Governor Emelian? What happened here?
Sergeant Delms. He's dead. When I came to inform the governor, he ambushed me.
The governor seeks to escape justice.